Hello and welcome to this week's coffee vlog. It's now Friday the 7th of January 2022. Time for the second vlog of the year. We've just about survived the first week of January and of 2022 in fact, so yeah, it's been pretty interesting actually. So last weekend for New Year's Day, mild weather. Obviously I did the vlog on New Year's Day, came in while it was mild and dry, sorted out my external ducting for this roaster because the intermediate fan had seized. So I had to take that out and sort of realign the ducting without it, which has gone fine. It's meant I've been able to roast. The only problem is the intermediate fan was kind of doing the cooling as well, and without that I have to use the roaster's cooling, which is ridiculously powerful. And what that means is the volume of air it's sucking over the beans and blowing out through the same exhaust as the roaster causes a back pressure, so it backs everything up, and then anywhere that isn't fully airtight sealed starts to leak smoke. So you get some leaks in some of the ducting, and the chaff collector has certain areas it blows smoke out of because that back pressure is just finding every possible place it can get out of. So what I've ordered, and it arrived yesterday, but given the fact it's snowy today, I'm not going to try and fit it today, is a Y section. So for the uprights, where there's the hat on top to stop rain getting in the ducting, I'm fitting into that a Y where the angle comes downwards, so again to stop the rain, but it's the full 300mm bore that will basically, when the cooling goes on and hits that top hat and wants to come backwards again, it's got an exit route rather than coming all the way back down here and finding its way out of the road. So I'm hoping that will then resolve that issue and should all be good. But I'm going to have to wait for the weather to break again. So because it was really nice mild last weekend, even Monday was pretty good. I came in Monday, just had a few bits to do, to be honest, and a delivery to the deli. They were desperate, and Tuesday I knew was going to be really busy, so I didn't want to do it then, so I thought I'd get it done on the Monday, get it out of the way. So came in Monday, I was sat down for probably less than 5 minutes. I was listening to some answering machine orders and getting some shipping labels printed off the desk, and my mobile went from a local number. Answered it, it was the police as well. Oh, West Yorkshire Police, eh? You the registered owner of pane Coffee Limited on Hall Street? Yes. We've had reports that there's been broken windows in your premises. Can you go there and check it out? I was like, well, I'm here. I didn't really notice when I came, but I wasn't looking for broken windows. And there was none sprung out. So I then had to do a walk round. I checked all the big windows, which are all intact, which I'd noticed those. And it turned out at the back end, we've got a fire exit, 2 little doors, with very small windows. If you broke through them, a person wouldn't even fit through the gap, because it's that narrow. You're just not going to fit whatever way, unless you're Fagin and employ small children to break into places, then maybe. But otherwise, you're just not getting through. So yeah, that basically punched a hole in the glass, but only in the outer layer of the glass. They hadn't actually got through the second layer behind. So they hadn't actually got in, not that it got in anyway. They had just literally smashed the 2 bits of glass, and there was a nitrous oxide gas charge bottle outside. Now, I mean, obviously these whipped cream gas chargers, you commonly see the little silver bulbs about everywhere, which kids break open to fill balloons and inhale the nitrous oxide for a hit. But this that was on the street, it was that big. It was a massive bottle, great big bottle. So I don't know if someone had bought like massive industrial size nitrous. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if they'd been using it or they just found it on the street and thought, oh, this is a handy thing to break some windows with because that's a laugh in it. Or what, but I recovered the gas cartridge and CSI did come Wednesday and had it off me. And actually he said, I recovered one of these yesterday from inside a shop. It'd been thrown through the window. So yeah, there's quite a few of them kicking about and they're obviously quite good projectiles for the nefarious type. So yes, I had to board up the smashed windows, even though they hadn't got through the second bit. I mean, obviously that single pane would quickly be broken should someone else decide to have a go. Plus the fact of if more people go past broken windows, they're all going to be ringing the police. Oh, those windows are broken. So you have to tell them, but the police will be ringing me every other day, telling me that windows are broken. I know they're broken. So I boarded up and it's dealt with. So I boarded it up on the outside. Well, I've got loads of boards in because I've got old roaster crates and all sorts. So boarding is one thing I'm never short of. Just measure the shape, jigsaw out the size for them, put them up. The CSI was like, "Oh, did you manage to get anyone in on bank holiday Monday to board it?" I was like, "Yeah, me." I was here already. Boarding things up. I'm getting quite used to it. I might board the rest of the warehouse up, then no one can break anything else. To be honest, it might look a bit derelict, you know, but shabby chic. Boarded up warehouse. Like, it'll get a bit dark in it. I mean, it's dark enough as it is. I'm going to have to put a light in because it's the fire exit as well that they've hit the glass on. Because there's boards over it now, it's pitch black when you go into that stairwell. And obviously that's not great if there's a fire and someone needs to get out and they can't see naff all. So I will need to put a sensor light in there that'll just light up when someone goes in, just so in the event that we need to use the fire escape, it's functional as a fire escape. Yeah, it's good coffee. I'm going to remember what it was now. I've totally forgotten. Oh, Brazil de Terra. It was, that's what it was, Brazil, you can't go wrong with Brazilian coffee. Always some good coffees. So Monday fun, Tuesday back to work, ridiculously busy as you'd expect with all the orders that built up over the past week and a bit, really. So loads of roasting, but the other thing was, of course, I'd taken the old 5 kilo roaster out and put the new yellow roaster back into position, fitted everything up and just needed the gas fitting. And I couldn't get it done last week because nobody works between Christmas and New Year apparently, if you're a gas man. Evidently just they've got enough money to not need to. So I'd rung round, I'd got one who said he might try, and I didn't hear anything back from him. Took me details, took me address, said we can do it, but we're shut. I'll see if I can get someone, but really. So I was kind of expecting Tuesday at some point to be ringing round again, trying to find someone to come connect the gas up. And at 10 o'clock Tuesday morning, the gas engineers from the place that I'd been texting but not heard back from just turned up, came in, measured up, went and got some parts, came back, fitted the gas, half an hour, roasters up and running, happy days. So yeah, we got that sorted relatively quickly in the end. I was expecting it to take far longer. I would have liked to have got it done last week because it meant I could have seasoned it off when we weren't all about, because when they ship these from Turkey, before shipping them, they coat them in like a fine oil, like spray it everywhere, which is just to protect it from salty sea air as it goes through coastlines and things on its travels. So of course the first time you fire it up, all that oil tends to burn off the hot bits, so it gets quite smoky inside whatever happens from that. Then I had to put a roast through of some Robusta just to season the drum, which was discarded because again, any contamination inside needs clearing out. And then just the hard work of getting used to the new roaster. Obviously in 5 years they've improved and changed things a lot. Double skin drum rather than single skin, so it needs more gas pressure applying, so bigger flame height to roast in the same time because it's got a thicker drum to get through, but that thickness is supposed to prevent scorching and improve on weight loss, so it reduces the amount of weight loss of the coffee. But it did mean reworking out everything as far as your gas pressure. Temperatures are a little different than they used to be, about 10 degrees higher. Everything seems to be happening, which could be differences in probes, probe position, all sorts of things really. But other than that, I've got the timing, which is the important bit. The time it roasts in right once I found that gas level. And yeah, it's been flying. It's done, well, every day since Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It'll be going on today as well. Same with this one. We've had both going all this week just to build up more stocks. So flat out really, roasting and packing coffee. So other than that, it's just, well, it's been hectic. It snowed today, well, overnight, so it's not so heavy round here. It's probably more wetty, slushy stuff. Quite thick up at home. I did test it again, the Toyota RAV4 for its gripability, and headed the way I would never imagine going in the Renault Kadjar, because I mean all the roads off the estate were covered in snow completely, and would be very slippy, and I took all the uphill difficult routes just to see what the RAV4 could do, and it's amazing how much better it is than the Kadjar. And yeah, it just has no problem doing anything. I mean, getting off the street this morning, going to a stop in all the snow and then setting off again, the Renault would have been scrabbling about and traction control would have been having an absolute nightmare just on that flat bit. And the Toyota just set off and went, we went up the snowy, slippy road, and traction control fades in, but it doesn't do what the Kadjar was doing, which is stop the wheels constantly and then you grind to a halt because of all that braking. The traction control just seems to adjust the amount of power it's putting to whichever wheel it thinks slipping a bit, so it's not stopping you, it's just making sure you're not going to go into a squiggly, uncontrolled slide anywhere. And yeah, it ploughed all the way up the hill, onto the road, at the junction, after stopping dead. Again, I would have never have dared stopping dead. I would tried to see if there's any coming, keep momentum going, or I'd get stuck. And then I took the road I would never again, because it's the steep turning lefts, and that gets really slippy and you just get bogged down on it straight away as you turn onto it, because if it's quite steep up, when it's slippy, it's just gonna get you stuck. I got stuck on ice in there. Before the Kadjar, that was at the Renault estate. Some school kids had to push me up. I got so far up, and then it was just spinning the wheels and going nowhere. And some school kids were walking past, and they got behind and gave me a shove, and eventually got going again. Well, up there, and then along onto the main road, and all those were thickly snow-covered roads, and it was fine. It didn't, I didn't once think, "Ooh, I'm going to get stuck here," which the Kadjar was constantly. If it snowed, I was just like, "Oh God, this is going to get stuck anywhere unless I head downhill only." So, top marks to Toyota for producing an excellent drive terrain that works in snow brilliantly. I imagine the all-wheel drive versions are pretty capable off-road beast, to be honest. I didn't get the all-wheel drive because it's more expensive, and I've no use for all-wheel drive because I'm not going up mountains and through farms, fields and things with my Toyota. I just fill it with chocolate at Christmas. So yeah, snowy day, quite cold, but we'll see how the day progresses. You never really know. I mean, the forecast is actually for it to snow most of today, so what it'll be like getting out later on, I don't know, but who knows, we shall see. Alright, but to do Mr. Nellis's words of wisdom, and then messages. So my thing to talk about on your vlog: my Christmas present says there were Space Jam 2 on DVD, also Star Wars and Mr. Men's Socks, very nice, Richard. The Batman starring Twilight's Robert Pattinson, as I think Robert Pattinson may as well be Dracula as well, because Leslie Nielsen was Dracula in the spoof version of the Bram Stoker story. But Dracula wasn't really that old, as Adam Sandler can be a funny Batman as well. Fair enough. The Hunchback of Notre Dame, the musical, coming to the Victoria Theatre on the 30th of March 2022, based on the Disney film as of the song out there. Quasimodo sang "I am monster, but he's not a monster at all." Can you remember Supermarket Sweep with Dale Winton? Of course. When are you next going to the Meandering Bear, Victoria Craft Beer, Glor Scandinavian hasn't existed for a long time, Richard. Jeremy's at the Boathouse, drop off coffee, no idea when they need some. Have you got any ideas this weekend, or is it your normal, not anything much weekend? I've just got bits and pieces to do at home. I've got some shelves to put up, but in the boys' room, got some floating shelves in black for the grey walls and white for the white walls. So matching shelves to walls, eh? So I'm probably going to get on with that. I was going to do it last week, but things got in the way. I mean, we're caught pretty much well up with work now, because we got everyone back doing it, so that always helps. So I should be fully caught up by the end of today with all orders. Everything should be shipped out to everyone. I think a lot of what I shipped last week has been delivered. So that's good, and what we started with on Tuesday and sent out, because there was about 40 odd orders for the InPost on Tuesday. That should all be hopefully making its way through the system, maybe arriving with people soon as well. So all good news. Right, I think I'll get on with my busy day, see what the snow's like outside. So have a good week next week, and I'll catch you in next week's cover vlogs. See ya.